Hello, I'm Ricky Lee, and today on the watch list, green hydrogen and ammonia producer Atome Energy has just locked in a landmark deal, a definitive offtake agreement with Yara, one of the world's leading crop nutrition companies. The agreement covers the entire production from Atome's flagship Villeta project in Paraguay, giving the project a ready buyer and underlining its strategic importance in the global green ammonia supply chain. Joining me today is Atome CEO Olivier Mussat. Welcome, Olivier.
Thank you very much, Ricky.
Olivier, for listeners who might not know Atome, can you give us a quick overview of the company and the Villeta project?
Absolutely. So Atome is the first pure play low carbon fertilizer company listed on the London Stock Exchange and actually globally. Our focus is pretty much going after one of the largest polluter and most important sector that we have, which is the fertilizer sector. To give you a sense, half of the world's fertilizer comes from hydrocarbons today. It's becoming more expensive because of disruptions in general, right, including in Russia. But also it emits more carbon than the shipping and aviation combined. So what we did is basically go after projects and develop projects where we can produce low carbon fertilizer competitively without subsidies in order to displace expensive and high carbon imports. So obviously it's a pretty substantive market considering that the population continues to grow. So our first project is called Villeta. It's in Latin America, in Paraguay, to be precise. And the reason it's in Paraguay is because this is where you have the second largest hydroelectric dam in the world. So we have access to abundant, reasonably priced power, which is key because you need energy to produce fertilizer. And you are in the middle of the largest import market in the world when it comes to fertilizer, because Brazil, Argentina, Paraguay, Uruguay is pretty much one of the largest breadbasket of the world. And they consume about 30 million tons of nitrate per year. So our first project, Villeta, will be about 260,000 tons a year of fertilizer in operation about 38 months after final investment decision, which is coming soon.
Wow, that is a lot of fertilizer. So the big headline is that offtake deal with Yara. What does it mean for Atome to have secured a buyer of that scale, and how does it shape the economics and momentum of the Villeta project?
So what we have done over the past 3 years in maturing the project is pretty much doing everything you would expect for infrastructure projects to happen, right? So we've basically bought the land, secured power purchase agreement, did all of the engineering and design, secured engineering and procurement construction on a fixed price basis with our partner Casale, one of the largest fertilizer chemical engineering company in the world. We have also, secured environmental license and so on, and obviously working on the financing side. And the last commercial point was really closing out the offtake. And the offtake is what underpins the project, right? And with Yara, we have an incredible partner. They are one of the world's largest fertilizer company in the world. It's Norwegian, is the old Norsk Hydro, for some people who know it. They trade in Latin America alone, about 6 million tons of fertilizer per year of nitrates. And it's also one of those who have spearheaded low carbon fertilizer. So for example, in Europe and in Latin America, they have partnerships with PepsiCo to supply them with low carbon. So for us to have a partner which will offtake for a minimum of 10 years, 100% of our production, not only it's a great validation of our model, right? But also, I think for us, it gives us, really an incredible play to the market and the ability to secure very strong project finance term, which is needed, when you are basically developing a pretty large plant, as you mentioned.
Amazing. Okay, and so looking ahead, what are the immediate next steps, both in terms of construction and financing, to bring Villeta into production?
So like any infrastructure projects and energy projects, it's all about managing risks, right? So we have managed the infrastructure risk, the land risk, the environmental risk, the engineering risk, making sure we had fixed costs, because obviously, it's a $460 million plant. It's pretty big. You want to make sure you don't have inflation there as well. So this has been managed. And the last commercial contract was really managing the offtake side, or who was going to buy our project. And so all of these risks are now behind us. And what is remaining, it's basically what we call the financial engineering. What we've already mentioned, we're working with very large development finance institutions, including the IDB, FMO, and so on. And also on the equity side, announced that High 24 is basically underpinning the equity investment into the project, because we are financing this project on a project finance basis of balance sheet. And so for us, the only remaining bit is basically closing out the terms on the debt on the equity side. And the moment all of these things are signed off, gone through credit commitments and board, then FID will be declared. FID is final investment decision, and then construction will commence.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. That's Atome Energy and its Villeta project, now backed by a global offtake partner in Yara. Thank you so much, Olivier Mussat, for your time. And to learn more, check out atomeplc.com. That's all for this edition of The Watchlist. I'm Ricky Lee. Make good choices today.